million deal to head back to the Washington Redskins. So it's an interesting move. I guess it's a depth move because they're not really sure what Darius Geis will be. Obviously, he got hurt before his rookie season, and they liked what they saw from Adrian Peterson last year. So the Redskins make one move that people are not scratching their heads about, but we'll get... We'll get to
one
all
NFC's teams figuring it out.
We'll get to all the moves from all the NFC's teams, from all the teams in the NFL, things we like, things we don't like. I know I have a few of just about all of that stuff. I mean, look, yes, the Sixers played last night. Yes, it was an ugly game. Yes, they won. We could talk about the Sixers every single show if we wanted to, but today is a football...
I do have a bone to pick with you about the Sixers, though.
Roundtable. With me?
Yeah, you.
The hell could I have said? Is it because I took a shot at you on Twitter last night with Joe?
No, I have no idea. No, it has nothing to do with that. That's irrelevant. I just think that you are so over dramatic. You are on here moaning and complaining about Sixers fans. You are the most over dramatic individual when it comes to Sixers tweets.
This is not true.
It is
I was
true.
last night, but last night,
oh my God, this is worse than a loss. It was literally like half an hour into the game.
Because that is a team coming off it's the second half of a back-to-back in which they just won by 20 against Toronto. They sat a bunch of guys basically conceding the game to you, and you come out with that effort. To me, okay, and
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying you were unbelievably is your wife going through like mood swings and stuff because she's pregnant? Is she like...
I mean, not
because
really.
I think you're worse.
No.
You have to be worse than
because here's the fact. Whoa. Wait a minute. You're going to attack my character? Give me a chance to defend. Here's my problem with it, okay?
I'm not attacking your character. I'm saying you're dramatic.
That's my character. Anyway, I'm telling you right now, you are not good enough as the Philadelphia 76ers to take nights off and just hope they get...
What am I not good enough at?
Hey, what happened to your computer? Did you just nix it?
The internet. I was not connected on that, and I was trying to get on my phone. Okay. It wasn't working, and
I was going to say we were on Facebook Live too, but that's okay.
That's right. Well, that'll be next week.
Yeah,
we'll get it all.
You'll do your Instagram stuff going. I know you're good over there with the social media.
I try.
But you're not good enough to take nights off. I mean, the fact of the matter is, with 2 minutes left in that game, you were down a point to the freaking Cleveland Cavaliers in the second half of back-to-back with no Kevin Love, no Tristan Thompson. You name it. They were missing 3 or 4 pretty big players. It's just that's a frustrating thing to me. And if you ask me, that is on the players first. And I got in an argument on Twitter last night because everyone wants to hold the coach accountable. No, when you're an NBA player, it's not the coach's job to motivate you to play. That's on you. You're a professional athlete. But once the game gets started and you see it, you need to pull the guys and hold them accountable at that point.
Listen, I'm not in disagreement with you on those thoughts. I'm just saying your tweets were so over dramatic.
I was irate last night. I honestly,
and then I almost answered, but then I was like, I'm not going to do that to myself.
I was just pissed off. I wouldn't have came at you that hard.
I just didn't have the energy for it because I was like, and then he's gonna come back at me. I just don't feel
I would have joked with you. It would have been with you. It would have been jokes, but no one really came at me about that other than Jonathan Simmons is the single worst basketball player. Markelle Fultz, someone put this in a group text with me last night. Markelle Fultz is better than Jonathan Simmons and he's not even playing. What does that tell you? So that's that. Yeah. Wasn't good. Need to be better going forward. No? Disagree?
I mean, you definitely need to be better going forward. How about can we talk about Joel's putback slam for a second?
Oh my! That was
we are all TJ McConnell.
He fell to the ground.
His reaction was fantastic.
That was the most energy he showed all night. Was on that putback.
That was amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
So did I. I just wish he would have done that on the. But you know what I love about him?
Everything?
That he comes out afterwards and said I was trash. Like he doesn't try and hide it.
No, he doesn't try and hide it.
He said he was trash, and then it was really funny. When him and Ben had their moment at the podium and Penn walked away because he was laughing so hard.
I would have too.
Honestly,
thank God no one asked me to cover that game because I would have died.
I was just going to say, with your humor, I don't think you would have been able to handle.
No, if I was back there, you heard they like giggled in the media room and I would have been in the back dying. And they would have been like,
it's a good thing this was
someone
not the
get this girl out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would have loved it.
So, but we listen, we got plenty of time to talk about the Sixers with the playoffs coming up. The Phillies are 2 weeks away from opening day at this point.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Bryce, I don't know. He's playing again today. He played yesterday. I think he was playing again today. It's DH. So we have all the time in the world to talk about them. But this is a football show today.
Yes.
All right. One of the things we're going to talk about right there on Jess, that jersey is now relevant. And no, not because of Matt Collins.
Is he even alive?
He's alive.
He better give up that
He's
number.
in witness protection.
I saw a thing that was like, Mac better hop on his bike and ride to Modell's to pick out a new number, and I cried.
That's not nice. Don't make fun of a man for saving the environment.
No, there's not. But it was just funny.
You're making fun of him.
I'm not. Oh no, I'm not making fun. I think the bike thing is very funny. I'm a big fan of it. But
so we're gonna obviously
pick a new number.
Yes.
I was talking to my dad on the phone the other day. And it was right before we were waiting for one of our clients to jump on for an update call. So it was just me and my dad right before the client dialed into the call. And I was like, did you see we're getting Deshaun Jackson back? And he goes, well, I guess he's going to have to wear number 11 here, right? And I was like, yeah. And then the client came on and I was like, no. Wait.
No,
and then I texted him
11.
and I was like, we are so stupid. Oh my God, my camera just fell.
Oh boy.
There's a ghost.
Listen.
There's a ghost. There's a ghost.
It's I don't even know. Maybe it's the ghost of a former partner of mine who we really got into it over the weekend. What game was that we got into it?
It was the
Was it after the Rockets game?
No.
Or was it? When they lost to the Bulls. It was the Bulls loss.
Oh, that was way before.
That was on Wednesday. We went home from the show. They played the Bulls. They lost to the Bulls, and then I just went bonkers on people.
Yep, that's a true thing that happened.
Yeah, but look, I believe I was justified in that case.
Yeah,
I believe I was justified in that case.
I almost said a bad word of what that game was.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a disgrace on every on every side. It was a disgrace, not just one.
A word that rhymes with pit. That's what that game was.
We knew what you were talking about prior to that.
I was just making sure everyone knew.
All right, let's go to the NFL. Let's go to our lovely Philadelphia Eagles. And shortly after, or I guess it might have been a little prior to the legal tampering period because they were allowed to. On Monday, when the legal tampering period was set to start, the Eagles really got to it quick. One of the guys that was released from Jacksonville, ironically, to make room for the mega deal that Nick Foles signed, which we'll get to, was Malik Jackson, a defensive tackle. And at the time, everyone was they were concerned. We're not bringing back Jernigan, we're not bringing back Bennett. We need more help on this line. What are we going to do? Well, in comes Malik Richardson. Okay,
that's not his name.
No,
that's not it. You're combining players. There's too many things going on.
You could say it.
It's Malik Jackson.
That's too. But there's another Jackson. Why do we have so many?
Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Malik, who the hell am I combining?
Sheldon Richardson.
Yeah, he went and he went to Cleveland, right? Sheldon Richardson.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So they're kind of stacked in Cleveland right now.
Oh, we are going to talk about my AFC squad.
Your AFC squad
in a couple minutes because I friggin' love that team right now.
Oh my God, it's gonna be fun.
But so Malik Jackson,
there it is, nailed it.
Signs with the Eagles. It only took me 13 times. The Eagles have already tweeted out some things. 121 regular season and postseason games since 2012. 106 consecutive regular season games. I'll be honest with you, I don't need another stat to get me excited about him. The fact that he has played in this amount of games consecutively means he's durable. What means, now, you got to knock on wood that he stays durable, but that is something that we have missed from our defense, because even Fletcher gets hurt and banged up and misses a game here or there.
Yeah.
But he's ninth among NFL defensive tackles in sacks and tackles for loss since 2015. He gets after it. And now you pair him with Fletcher Cox at the defensive tackles. You have your Brandon Graham and either your Derek Barnett, your Chris Long. The other guy you add to that mix, because I do believe
Josh
it will be.
Sweat.
Yeah, but I think
I
think whether it's a draft or they pluck a free agent guy later on.
Right.
You're going to add to that defensive line and keep them as dominant as they were last year.
Right.
So I was excited to see this move. I was very excited to see this move. I don't know where you stood on this one, Jeff.
No, I was really excited about it because so we had been talking about how we thought they were going to address the defense in the first round of the draft. We thought, at 25, they were going to see if hopefully, if it was Dexter Lawrence or Devin Bush still there, or well, not Devin Bush, because he still might be the way to go in the first round if he's still there, or trying to address the holes that were going to be left by a Brandon Graham or by a Tim Jernigan. And then when we were on last week, it was still just being talked about that Bennett was going to get traded. So and obviously Haloti Ngata is probably going to retire. He's not going to re-sign. And
right.
You don't know where Derek Barnett is with the injury recovery. You don't know where Josh Sweat is with the injury recovery that he had. So who are you left with? Trayvon Hester?
Yeah, who they like as depth guys.
Yeah, and I'm totally on board with keeping them there.
I'm with you.
So we weren't really sure with where it was going to go, and at that point, you're unsure, right? So you're trying to figure it out, and we thought maybe that's where they were going to go, but I just thought that at where they were, they had too many empty spots on that defensive line. I feel like doing this gives you another sure thing on the line. So obviously they re-signed Brandon Graham, have Fletcher Cox, but getting Malik Jackson in here gives you another definitive sure thing on that defensive line. So you don't have to rely on rookies or this, that, or the other thing to make sure that, because think about it, the way that Jim Schwartz's defense works, it's all about that front four.
Yes.
So if that front four isn't anything to, call home about, then we've got a problem.
Well,
we've got a big problem.
It's why we sat here within the last couple of weeks and have talked about the Eagles' first draft pick possibly being a defensive lineman, which I still think can be the case. And I still think it can be a defensive tackle or a DN.
Right.
I don't think that signing Malik Jackson.
There it is.
Why do I
nailed it?
I want to say Malik Richardson had to play another sport. There had to be a guy named Malik Richardson in another sport.
Can someone look that up and tweet at us if there's a Malik Richardson?
Yes, at Philly
_
Madness, because I just want. It's like it fits. It does. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I believe you. I understand where you're going.
You believe me. I think you just rather insult me right now, and I get it. I mean, that's fine. You're a jerk. We're out.
What are you going to do?
But I don't think that would stop the Eagles from a 25 taking a defensive tackle just because they play for every game. So
right.
Even if you're not a starter, you are a contributor because of the rotations they do
right.
on that line. So, I mean, I really did like that move. I think you win and lose in the trenches. I think that's always the way it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And what did the Eagles do before free agency started? Brandon Graham.
For the love of God.
Malik Jackson. And then on the offensive side of the ball, whether you agree or disagree with it, make sure Jason Peters is in the fold for one more year. Restructure Jason Kelce to keep him here.
Give him an extension.
Yeah, you said goodbye to Stefan Wisniewski, but you also gave Sayamalu an extension, meaning that you're going to probably look to go forward with him. Mm-hmm. I do think they need some depth there, which I think they'll get, whether it be via the draft or maybe a June 1st, one of those late cuts right before the season.
Right.
So that was the first thing.
Yes.
And it was fun and it was happy. Then you started seeing a bunch of stuff pop out. Okay. The Bucs were shopping Deshaun Jackson. And the minute it started, it was already being reported that, he wanted to go to the Eagles. And then Chris Mortensen came out and said they're destined for each other. It's not a matter of if this happens. It's more a matter of when and what the compensation is. And lo and behold, it takes place. The Eagles get a 6th-round pick and give, a 5th and a 7th? Was that the way it went?
Yeah.
Is that how it went? A 5th and a 7th and get a 6th back with Deshaun Jackson.
It was whatever. They, gave something up. I think in the Bennett trade, they sent a 6th-round pick, too.
Yeah,
and I think they got that pick back.
Yeah. So
something
along those lines. So the way I look at it, it was they bring back a guy who the final days of his Eagles career, 6-7 years ago, whatever it was, 2012, I believe it probably was.
2013 was his last year because he had 1 year with Chip.
Okay,
2013 was Chip's first year.
So 2013, was unceremonious. A lot of reports came out about him.
Do you want to know who the reports were from?
Elliott Shore-Parks.
There's another
and
one.
Joe Santalaquita.
Joe Santalaquita.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm aware totally that he was a minor writer on them.
No, he was the one that wrote the...
Well, he wrote it, but Elliott Shore-Parks was like the guy who had his major hand in it. Hence why all the tweets have been so good about... I can't wait for Elliott Shore-Parks and DeSean Jackson to see each other and all that stuff. But, unfortunately, as a 6 years ago, as a mid-20s, I bought in. And I thought what they were reporting was true.
How dare you?
And I'm very upset with myself because I really thought that there was some justification to it. And what it was they embellished. Does DeSean Jackson hang around with the best people all the time? No.
Does any athlete?
But does any athlete, especially one that was as young as him?
No.
No. And I think he's gotten a lot smarter. He's gotten a lot more mature. He's now a father. And he can still blow the roof off of a defense.
And if anyone thinks otherwise, please go watch some game film from September 16th and let me know what
Just watch any time he's played the Eagles over the last 3 or 4 years.
No one has more 50-plus yard catches for the Eagles. Mm-hmm. No one has more 50-plus yards against the Eagles than DeSean Jackson. DeSean Jackson also holds the NFL record for the number of 60-plus yard touchdowns with 24 in his career.
Yeah.
NFL record.
I mean, I just don't...
Gimme.
There's nothing wrong with this move. He's not coming here being asked to be the number one guy. Mm-hmm. He's not coming here being asked to just be able to be a total game changer in just him.
Right.
But his presence with another guy like Alshon Jeffrey, with hopefully a new running back, with Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, it can change a game. It opens up the whole middle of the field when you have a guy that is taking that safety away because they have to make sure they're not getting burned by DeSean Jackson.
Right. And you don't even, what'll make me so happy? If they do that thing they used to do where the opening play of the game was just a 60-yard bomb to DeSean Jackson. That would make
They need to do that first game.
That would make my heart so happy. That would make my heart soar in ways I can't even tell you. That would just be full circle of everything.
Yeah, I'm hoping first game of the season, whenever it is, wherever it is, that's your first play.
Here's what I have to say. What I don't understand is I would also like for somebody to inform me of the reason that they burned their DeSean Jackson jerseys. I would like to understand because he was cut by Chip Kelly. I don't know if I
ever had a DeSean Jackson. I feel like I had a DeSean jersey. But I have no idea what ever happened to it.
I just want to understand why, because people were calling into the radio talking about, oh my God, we burn our jerseys, and now why? He didn't do anything.
Burning jerseys is the dumbest thing ever created by anyone.
The coach was a jackass. What do you want? Literally, such a jackass.
How about Nick Foles' shade towards that said coach in his love letter to Philadelphia?
Nick Foles is my favorite person on planet Earth.
Oh my God.
I love Nick Foles. What?
Yeah. Just, I love Nick Foles too. I will, but the gaga-ness about hey, it was very meaningful.
So everything else you're going to be overdramatic about, but not this. This is where you draw the line. Nick Foles is where you draw the line.
Once again,
Nick Foles giving you a Super Bowl is the line.
You call it overdramatic, I call it logical. But that's just me.
But I'm not saying I wanted him to stay here. I know that's not my opinion on it. I just love him.
You just called him your favorite
He's one of my favorite human beings
in the history of the world.
Seriously, he's great. I cried at my desk today reading his Players Tribune note. My uncle walked in to ask me if I read it and caught me sitting there crying over it.
You know what's funny? As I read that today, I immediately thought of you, Jess.
Why is that?
And I said, she's crying right now. Yeah. There's no doubt that there's tears in her eyes.
Let me tell you about the roller coaster of emotions I had on Monday. So first it starts with the DeSean Jackson trade rumors possibly coming to Philly. So I'm really excited, right? Then the news I obviously knew Nick Foles wasn't going to come back. The news about his, his contract with the freaking Jaguars comes out, and all the videos start coming of the thank you Nick and all that stuff. So I'm like crying 1 second over this, and I'm like, all right, let me finish up my those reports are coming out, let me finish up my thank you Nick Foles article so I could plug the right team name in just in case. I had it in there as Jaguars, but I wanted to put a couple more details in there. And so I'm sitting there like sobbing, crying, watching these videos and finishing up this article. And then the news about Deshaun Jackson comes in, and my mood completely changed. So I was on this roller coaster of emotions all day because I was so sad about the Nick Foles videos, and then so excited about Deshaun Jackson. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was all over the place. It was a good day, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to state for the record that I'm the dramatic one.
On Twitter.
Not Jess. Me.
On Twitter.
I'm the dramatic one, as you just listened to the dramatic reading of her Monday. We move forward. So, I mean, look, the Eagles offense gets better, gets a little bit more dynamic. I love this idea of Deshaun and Alshon as your outside guys. I think Deshaun is a step up from any speedster guy that they brought in here. Torrey Smith, Mike Wallace. I think Deshaun is better than both of them. I know he's aging. I know he has some trouble staying healthy. I understand, but he plays for most of the seasons at this point. What is going on Twitter? I'm just like following everything.
I don't know. I'm just trying to go live on different forms of social media right now, and the connection's not having it. It's really starting to piss me off. That's where I am currently. It's driving me insane.
I'm sorry.
You should be. But anyway, yeah, no, I just think that it's one of those things that, like, he's just going to be so excited to be here. He's just going to, play as hard as he can, which, I don't think that he's ever not done, but I just think, for the people that are saying, it wasn't last year. He was 2 years ago. He had another 1,000-yard receiving season. He had 3 for the Eagles in the 5 years he was here. He's been gone for 5 years. So he had 1 with the Redskins, 1 with the Bucs. So I just don't think that there's...
Well, and it's a different situation. When he was here before, he had to be the guy.
Right. He doesn't have to be the guy.
And not only that, he played with McNabb. He played with Vic. But, it was up and down quarterbacking.
Kevin Kolb.
For him, there was Kevin Kolb was in there. Nick Foles was in there. It was a lot of change for him.
He caught one of the 7.
Yeah, and he was a young guy who was immature. And look, I don't know. He's not the type to admit to that.
Right.
But I think he knows it, which is fine. You don't have to admit to it. It is what it is. But I'm happy he's back. I like the move.
Yeah, I'm extremely, extremely happy. One of my best friends texted me right away a picture of us in Deshaun Jackson jerseys when we were. It was my senior year of high school, so it was 2012. And it was, it was his second to last year here. And, she sent me the picture right away. I don't know how she found it so quickly, but it was like, we were made ready for this trade. And I was like, well, yeah. And she was like, I have to go find that. I was like, mine's right on top.
Other thing
exactly where it is.
Now when I watch one of my favorite movies in Silver Linings Playbook, I could really enjoy the Deshaun Jackson jersey. It plays you're looking at me like you've never seen Silver Linings
No, I
Playbook.
have. My hair was stuck.
Oh. Well, that would have been bad.
And I didn't want to knock my whole headset off.
No, very nice. Very nice. I
enjoy Silver Linings Playbook. Bradley Cooper and I went to the same high school.
Oh, you're right.
So
you just know everybody.
We did go to the same high school. He went to Germantown Academy.
I believed you.
But it's kind of cool because that was like his first like really big serious movie that he was actually well regarded as an actor for. Yeah,
I well regarded him prior to that because I thought he was hysterical in The Hangover.
Well, he's fantastic in The Hangover, but as a take it seriously as an actor.
His first big movie. Do you? I'm sure you do. The first one that many would say would be a movie.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, not many people realize Rachel McAdams' fiance is none other than Bradley Cooper.
He's such an ass in every movie.
Oh my God,
though.
I wanted to hate him in that movie. I wanted to punch him in the face that whole movie.
Really? Because he just punched people in the face that entire movie.
Yeah, he got
punched in the face once in that movie. That's a fan. I love that movie. That's one of those you can turn on.
Oh my God.
The Hangover, and Step Brothers are all one of those. All those movies.
I throw old school into that mix too.
You can turn on at any given moment. You're just scrolling through TV. You see it's on. It doesn't matter what point in the movie it is. You can turn it on and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I definitely throw old school in that. I got a bunch of comedies that can be in that realm. Yeah. So now the question becomes, for the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion, what's next? Jess, you have any thoughts?
I have thoughts about your dramatic tweet in response to 97.5 Mornings today when you were like, why are they, I don't even remember what it was.
I will have to look at my dramatic tweet
something
then.
In response to, why would they worry about
I'm going to find
something when they still have huge holes to fill on this team. They need a linebacker and they need a running back. Like, now that they've shored up the lines.
Oh, well, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about as we go forward. I know exactly what you're referring to.
I just think that, huge holes to fill. So overdramatic. So overdramatic. I just think you're being dramatic. Again.
Over dramatic that they need.
They need a linebacker and they need a running back.
Which are two really important positions on the field.
Well, only according to some, linebackers are important.
What do you mean?
I literally had a person respond to my tweet yesterday. So, granted, I've
said about the overvalue versus undervalue of a middle linebacker. That's why.
No, but it had nothing to do with that. I tweeted yesterday. So I have been on record in several of our shows saying that this didn't happen as it panned out. But if we couldn't get C.J. Mosley or Quan Alexander, I thought that they needed to try to keep Jordan Hicks. That was because when Jordan Hicks is healthy, he is as good as they come at the middle linebacker
key word
position.
In there.
When he's healthy, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I understand that. But I would rather that than, then unfortunately, having... I love Kamu Grugier-Hill. I love Nate Gerry, but not in that starting middle linebacker spot.
Agreed.
Personally, I also just think Nigel Bradham is better when he's not in the middle, when he's able to run free a little bit, when he's out in coverage a little bit more instead of being responsible for that middle. I just think he doesn't do a bad job there. I just think he's better in other places. But I tweeted that and someone responded to my tweet and said, what? I want to read it exactly. Nope. Linebacker isn't important. Value shop. Draft a mid-round guy. Amaze people. Look at how our D is structured and still care about linebackers. Well, linebackers are still pretty important.
Well, because this is what happens, right? There's a faction of people who overvalue the position, a la the New York Jets giving guys astronomical deals like C.J. Mosley.
And almost Anthony Barr, too.
Right, and almost Anthony Barr. And then there's other teams and people out there and fans that undervalue the position. And one of those teams has been, for a very, very, very long time, the Philadelphia Eagles. If you don't think the middle linebacker position is important, look at the top ones in the game.
You know nothing about football if you don't think the linebacker position is
just
important.
look at some of the Leighton Vander Esch, first-round pick.
First round pick.
C.J. Mosley, first-round pick. Now, yeah, did he get way more money than I would have given him? Oh, hell yeah. But he's still pretty damn important, seen as one of the better ones. The better middle linebackers in this league typically are guys you either get you get earlier in drafts because you need a talent, especially now.
Any idea what round Jordan Hicks went in?
Third. Believe he was a third-round pick because I can remember when they picked him.
I can remember.
But even to me, Jordan Hicks, Arizona, you're taking a big risk with the amount of money you gave a guy who hasn't been able to stay on the field.
And that's the thing. I would not have given Jordan Hicks that contract. So good for him for going.
And that's all I was saying on Jordan Hicks.
No, and I see what you're saying, but I'm also one of the, proponents of giving Carson Wentz his deal when he's due for it. And, I know not everybody, granted, quarterback and linebacker are extremely different, but it's silly to me to make the argument for Carson Wentz when, when you want to defend him not being injury prone, but you're not going to make the same argument for Jordan Hicks.
But it's harder.
It's different positions.
That's where the undervalue versus overvalue comes from. There's a happy medium. Mm-hmm. It's harder to find that generational quarterback, which is more important to the team
than a generational linebacker.
That doesn't mean that the linebacker position is unimportant. Sometimes, and look, Jess, we've talked about this. You wrote an article at the beginning of the year. I'm not going to just blind trust the front office.
Right.
When I think that they do something wrong, I'm going to call them on it. And I think that they undervalue the linebacker position. Everyone's saying, well, they only play two most of the time. That's great. They have one. That's a starter.
Yeah.
And Bradham. Jerry, not a starter. Gary, whatever. Grugier-Hill, not a starter. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
You want to see the picture my dad just sent me?
Sure.
This is him at his desk with his multiple computers.
See that? We're live. Thank
Dad's
you.
Killing it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Dad.
There you go. I'm not going to call you Dad because that would just be weird.
That'd be weird. He's not your dad.
Should I call him Mr. Town? Does that work?
No, because you're an adult. I don't think you need to call
What? I can't. See, I was brought up that you call everybody Mr. until they give you the okay.
That's fair. I was too.
To call them by their first name.
I was too. And we have family friends that every time they say with their first name, I still have trouble.
Once they say, please call me so-and-so, then I'm on board. But I'm not going to call your father, what's his first name?
Andy,
before he says, Rob, call me Andy. So I'm just going to put that out there for everyone to see.
Okay.
That conversation was interesting. We love it here on The Madness, ladies and gentlemen. We love it.
Why won't my Instagram go live? This is driving me nuts.
Jess is really upset.
I'm really struggling over here.
So,
but anyway, continue.
So that's one position that I think they're undervaluing.
Agreed.
My hope is that within the next 25 minutes when the league year starts, I'm proven wrong on this next comment. Okay? They are undervaluing the running back position.
Yeah. Well, as far as we can tell.
That's why I said I hope to be proven wrong, but I'm not going to back off of that until they do something.
I really, 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 really want them to trade for Jordan Howard.
Oh, I've been on the Jordan Howard bandwagon, and I'm also...
I actually was listening through our show not right before the trade deadline, but the one where we were talking about when I predicted Golden Tate, when you were giving me a couple names, and Jordan Howard was one back then. We were both in agreement on.
Yeah, I would have loved to have a Jordan Howard. I understand people's reservation because they want the pass catcher. I don't think Jordan Howard can't catch passes. I just don't think he was used in that role.
Right.
Look, at this point,
and they also had oh my God,
Tariq Cohen.
Thank you. His name was escaping me. Who was just that was his strong suit.
Exactly.
So anyway, sorry, continue.
So look, any guy that you add at this point, whether it be Jordan Howard, Tevin Coleman, I think is your quote-unquote bell cow back, but are a part of a committee. Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% against the committee, but you need a lead back in that committee. And right now, you don't have it. Mm-hmm. And you saw what happened last year when you didn't have it. Mm-hmm. Don't sell me on bringing back Jay Ajayi. Look, I love the guy, but don't sell me on bringing him back as your lead back. It didn't work. Even before he got hurt, it did not work. You need to sign. And what I'm concerned about is this. The Baltimore Ravens signed Mark Ingram, who you know was one of my top guys.
Right.
To a 3-year, $15 million deal.
Which is not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Now, the optimist in me says he was never on the Eagles' radar or he was tunneled in on the Ravens from the word go. Mm-hmm. It's the opposite. Pessimist, excuse me.
There it is.
Pessimist in me says the Eagles think that's too much. And if that's the case, I don't know what to say. They're going to go in, and with all the moves you've made and all the things that you're hoping to do, I don't want to entrust it into a rookie running back. To me, you should have a lead back, a rookie, and let Clement and Smallwood and those guys fight it out for your third spot. No?
No, I'm with you. They just don't have a good track record drafting running backs. I get worried with drafting running backs that, aren't named a guy like Saquon Barkley. I feel like there was very minimal risk in drafting Saquon Barkley, but there's no one in this draft class that is a minimal risk to draft, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I just think that there's no, they're not talking about any running back that could go in the first round. They're talking about all these guys being second round guys. And to me, if you want to get one of those guys to be your number 2, fine. But you still don't have that, big lead back. And as much as, like you said, as much as I love Jay Ajayi and, I would be okay with him being a lead back, to me, I want somebody with, tree trunk legs that's going to put their head down and bully their way up the middle.
Yeah, see, now that's not Tevin Coleman, but Tevin Coleman gives you a very dynamic back who can run, but also obviously can catch. Here's one of the things I want and why I loved Mark Ingram. I want a guy who can pass block.
Yeah.
I want a running back that can pass protect. Mm-hmm. Because that was a major issue last year in the beginning of the year when Carson Wentz was getting put on his ass quite a bit. You know what I mean? They need a guy that can do that as well. It was kind of why I was really in on Ingram, because I felt Ingram was very good at doing that.
Agreed.
But, now we sit here and we wait. It is 19 minutes, looks like, until the league year officially kicks off. See what happens.
Well, I mean, I'm with you. I was, the Ravens are doing a very good job of addressing what they have let go. And it's a shame that they were able to secure Mark Ingram. And did you see Michael Thomas tweet? And he was like, "No, just wait. He's gonna pull an Anthony Barr and come back."
Michael Thomas,
LOL.
shut up, Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas sucks. Not at football,
but not
just at
only that,
else.
they bring in Earl Thomas today on a big deal. To kind of be the centerpiece of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in Mark Ingram. They've cut some weight, but they've signed people. And yes, the Eagles did a good job to start, but I need a little bit more in the next few days.
Well, listen,
didn't expect it right away.
I mean, if the rest of the NFC East keeps going the way that they're going, we don't need to do anything.
We don't. And before we get to the NFC East, before we get to the NFL, there is the other issue that I want to talk about. And this, Miss Town,
yes,
is what I was referring to in your over-traumatic tweet.
Traumatic?
Yeah.
Was it a traumatic experience?
It was. It's a traumatic experience for me when people in this town overvalue players that are really just average players.
Okay.
That being Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Here we go.
What my tweet was in reference to, Miss Town.
I need you to stop addressing me like this.
Oh, I will not. It was the idea that Adam Schefter said it was becoming more and more likely that by the start of the league year in 18 minutes, Nelson Aguilar was going to be a member of this team and owed $9.4 million. Now, you tell me where in his 4-year, the complete body, let's stop being tunnel visioned on 1 year. The complete body of work, you tell me that money is not better being reallocated to fill possibly the linebacker / running back positions.
I didn't say it wasn't.
That's all I was referring to, Miss Town.
That's not what you said in your tweet.
No, it's actually.
Which one? The one about the holes?
Look, because you probably just read my reply and did not see what I was replying to. And I said, now it's not going to load because you're taking all the internet bandwidth for your computer and everything else.
I'm trying to make sure that our followers know what we're up to right now.
We're up to yelling at each other. You could tell them that.
That's fine. We can continue that way.
We are yelling, and now I can't get Twitter. How can Twitter not load on this day of all days?
I'm going to need you to relax.
Well, it needs to load because
we still have 16 minutes until it really has to load.
Like, for example, here it is, right? Yeah, people like this. Aguilar's unique on this team. He's the one guy who could catch the ball and have a pure speed burst. Wrong. In one step to split the defenders and take. That's what I'm saying, though. Everyone is like, oh, well, look at what he did in. Yes, but look at what he's done the other 3 years. So what I was referring to, what I said was, I believe that $9.4 million should be reallocated to filling some of the other holes or concentrating on depth. I'm a firm believer they need a third safety. They're going to play a lot of nickel. You need a third safety. Who's that guy?
A draft pick? I don't know.
A draft pick, or I said.
Well, if they bring back Darby, they'll probably keep Rasul back there.
I mean, that's. I'm
okay with that.
That's what you would have to do, but I just think that there's depth issues on this team, partly because they haven't drafted well.
Right.
Obviously, there's a couple starting holes that need to be filled. When you can get a slot receiver for less money, okay, I even you're going to be stunned to hear this. I put out there today, I'd almost rather them re-sign Jordan Matthews.
My God, for less 2 jerseys to go back
for less money. Oh, my camera fell because of you.
Oh my God, look what you've done.
No, you did that. Now is the camera even on me?
I haven't touched anything. Yes, the camera's on you.
It better be. This is a beautiful face for that camera to be on.
Oh boy.
We've
taken a turn.
We have.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have taken a turn.
Why? Because you don't agree. You know what, Jess? That was mean.
Who said I did? Wait. You said that. Not me. You.
I said I have a beautiful face, and then you said we've taken a turn as though, oh, now he's making these ridiculous comments about himself.
No, I just said we've taken a turn to a whole different realm of things that have nothing to do with football. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
And my train of thought is gone. Where was I at?
I don't know. We were talking about safeties. Nelson Aguilar allocating money to other places.
I would rather re-sign Jordan Matthews, let Aguilar walk, release him, trade him, whatever it is that you have to do, and take that money and spend it in better places. That's all. That's all I was saying, and I think it's a justified and logical response. So there.
But your response did not allude to that at all.
Yes, it did.
Unless I'm looking at a different tweet.
Now I have to try and find it again, and I can't get that to load. I can't get my tweet and replies to load right now. There we go. Okay. In response to 97.5 The Fanatic and Adam Schefter. Okay, their tweet was, there's no intention of trading Nelson Aguilar. As it was explained to me, they like him a lot and are keeping him.
Oh, okay. It was in response to that.
And I responded by saying the money should be going to a bigger position of need, in my opinion. He has been average at best, and Eagles still have huge holes that need to be filled. Because they do.
Okay.
Apologize to me right now on the air.
No.
Right now.
No.
Say you're sorry to your partner here. Say you overstepped by calling it dramatic.
No, it is dramatic.
It's not dramatic.
No, but I was referring to the second half of it being dramatic.
Do you not agree that running back and linebacker are huge holes?
Not as dramatic as you're making it to be. I think there are holes on the team, but you didn't say they still need to fill the running back and linebacker position. Just the tweet itself is that money can go other places because they still have huge holes to fill.
They do.
If they don't do anything at those positions, the entire season is going to be 0-16.
If they do not do anything,
that's what you make it sound like.
If they do not do anything at the running back position,
that if they're not going to do anything,
be a disaster.
I understand that, but they're going to pass the ball 50 times a game anyway.
But they shouldn't have to. And if you fill the position,
I agree with that, but I'm not saying that that's going to change anything if they don't.
You throw the ball 50 times this season a game, you're going 8-8. Hey, I'm telling you right now, you're going 8-8.
Again,
so fill the damn position.
Oh my God.
Linebacker, you don't have a middle linebacker. What the hell are you going to do?
Well, we do have a middle linebacker. We just have one that is better in other places. He can play a middle linebacker. We won the damn Nigel Bradham. We won the damn Super Bowl with him.
Then you need a weak side linebacker. Then you need another one.
I understand that. I get that. We have a bunch of linebackers, and guess what? We don't know what Paul Worrilow can and cannot do with this team. We have no idea because he tore his ACL. Like, we don't know. We don't know if Kamu Grugier-Hill is going to take a step forward. We don't know.
But wasn't Paul Worrilow basically signed to be a special teams ace and just a filler here or there?
Yes, but I didn't say I wanted him to be the starting linebacker. I'm just saying
that if to me, the definition of a huge hole is you don't have a starter there.
But we do have a starter.
No,
there.
we have the guy you could plug in, but he's not a starting. He's not a starting linebacker.
You don't know that.
I do.
Do you?
Yes.
Because you're an NFL
Is Kamu Grugier-Hill a starter in this league?
Let's talk about if you know his name or not first. Let's start there.
Is Kamu?
He could be. We don't know. We don't know.
I do.
No, you don't. You don't. You don't know.
They are not starters.
You don't know.
They are not starters.
You don't know that. I agree that they need to put other players in there. I agree that we need another one there, and I agree that we should get another running back. I agree with you, but the dramatic way that you respond to tweets like that, oh my God.
But if you need those positions, I don't understand how they're not huge holes.
You just make it seem like if they don't address them immediately. You might have read it
that way. They do need to be addressed.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's what a huge hole is. If there's a hole, it needs to be addressed, and you need to fill it. So what I'm saying is if you're strapped on the cap number, why are you going to pay now 30, almost over 30 some odd $1 million to 3 wide receivers? That's my point.
Do that again. Your camera's going down one more time. Because why do you have the leg like this?
I don't think no leg. I'm just here. Just trying to talk sports and debate with you. Yeah, that's it. I'm Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Look, part of it is I am very sour on Nelson. I don't think Nelson Aguilar is that good.
Well, you're also sour because we are convinced that he's the guy.
Oh yeah, but I just also don't think he's that.
I don't think that helps.
A player.
I don't think that helps.
No, I just think that he's an average. I think he's replaceable.
I think if Carson threw him the ball more, we'd feel a little bit different.
No, I think he's replaceable.
Yeah.
And if you have a guy that you think is replaceable on your roster, I can't justify giving him $9.5 million.
I just don't think they're ready to give up on him yet.
He's another chip guy. I'm surprised how he's trying to. He's the only one left.
No, he's not.
No, I guess Lane Johnson is technically.
Lane was. Wasn't Jason Kelce too?
No, Kelsey was here at Reed because I remember him yelling at the fans as like a second-year player, and me going, "Who the hell's this guy?"
Oh,
and now I love him.
well, yeah, we all do. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else left.
There's not many. There's only like 3 left. Like Howie has attempted, and he'll never get rid of Lane.
And circled it around, too.
And circled around. That's, by the way.
We're going to end it there. No one else is coming back.
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there right now. If one more person tries to friggin' tell me that Shady McCoy can still play, he's an awful human being. Oh, he's never been charged. Neither has Ben Roethlisberger. They're awful human beings. Screw you, jackass.
I have something about Shady in the This Is Madness section, but it's courtesy of Patrick McMahon. It'll be Patrick's This Is Madness for the day.
Our buddy Patrick.
Illy Pat.
All right, so
that's why I wanted to. He sent it to me the other day, and it was just a funny message that he sent me with the Instagram that it was, and it'll be Patrick's This Is Madness for the day.
All right, so this is the Madness brought to you by ProSportsNotes.com, powered by WildfireRadio.com. Catch us on Wildfire Radio 9 to 11 every Friday morning. You can also catch us on YouTube Live right now by going to the Pro Sports Notes channel. And on iTunes, search The Madness with Rob Lange. Follow us on Twitter. Tweet at us at Philly_Madness, at Run This Town with an E13. Go on Instagram at Philly_Madness. We're all over the place. You can find us. Join the show. I also think I tweeted out earlier because it doesn't seem like people are picking this up.
The number?
The number
267-752-5743. Call us and leave us voicemails because then we can play them.
Yell
back
at
you.
I want to yell at you. Okay? I give you the number.
He's tired of yelling at me.
There is legitimately a number here. I can even let you call here. But I'm afraid because we can't screen the calls and I don't trust you.
Yeah, I don't trust people.
All right? So until we can screen the calls, screw you. Leave a voicemail. I don't care. I don't even care anymore. You got me. You got my blood boiling today, Jess. It's very rare that you get my blood boiling. You have succeeded in boiling my blood.
That's because you're ridiculous.
That's because I'm right. And you just can't handle that I'm right. So your big thing, oh, well, if I don't like that he's right, I'm just going to call him dramatic and we'll see how that goes.
I don't think that's what happened. That's not, I think you're misremembering things.
I am not misremembering a damn thing.
See, now you knocked my camera down, man.
That was a plan. Plan that one.
You really screwed it up. You really screwed it up, too. I really had to adjust it again.
This is my head right now. Oh, this didn't work very well. I should turn the volume up on the phone. Hold on. There it is. I got us some sound effects, by the way.
That was such a failure. Do you need the little pluggy thing?
Well, I mean, I could plug it in and we could play them on the board.
Here.
It might actually work better than me putting it up to the microphone.
Yeah, because that
shut up.
You did look.
No, it had nothing to do with.
You did look like
that would have happened anyway because my phone volume wasn't up. That's why that
would have sounded better plugged in though.
Oh,
that was you. That was
now
sad.
I turned the aux on and look. The only problem is going to be whenever I like get a text and it beeps through. But...
Bing.
Ooh,
what was that?
I got a lot of cool sounds here.
Okay, now Rob's just playing with sounds. This is ridiculous.
Hey! Just as happy Nelson Aguilar still.
What is going on right now?
I'm trying to have some fun.
You're frightening me. Okay,
right.
Let's talk about some of the other things that happened and are about to become official. Like Odell Beckham is a Cleveland Brown. Apparently
I want your take before I get into my take.
The Giants are just handing out players for free. So one of my really good friends, her boyfriend is a Giants fan, and I texted him this morning and was like, I genuinely just want to know how you are feeling right now. I was like, I don't even want to gloat. I just genuinely want to know what your emotions are right now.
I had a kid who wasn't in school today, and I think it totally is because he's a Giants fan, and he was upset.
And he was just like, I just don't get it. Like, I just don't understand. And I don't understand why they traded Olivier Vernon. They let Landon Collins walk. They traded Odell Beckham, and they're clinging on to dear life to a 38-year-old Eli Manning, who's a $17 million cap hit.
Here's my take on the whole thing. The Giants are a ridiculous franchise.
Stupid.
No doubt about that. However, I can kind of understand this Odell Beckham move. Okay? He has been miserable the last 2 years. He has been a diva the last 2 years. You have told yourself probably, and just hear me all the way out because I know what you're going to say. Basically, I think the conversation been had is we have to rebuild. We have to knock this thing down. We have to rebuild. Okay, so why keep Eli Manning? I think their thought process is this. They went running back last year,
right?
And the kid's a stud. They're going to go quarterback this year.
Right.
Okay?
You hope.
But the quarterbacks that are coming out this year are not, there's very few that I look at and say, he can start from day one. So rather than spend the money on bringing somebody in who doesn't know your system to be your bridge, they look at it and say, look, we ain't going to win next year. It don't matter. Let's get the headache out. We would love to keep Landon Collins, but when he's making $85 million, we just can't pay that. And they replace him with a Jabril Peppers, who's a nice little player. Okay, let's keep Eli to teach whoever it is we bring in, whether they trade up and go get Kyler Murray, whether they get a kid like Dwayne Haskins, who I believe was a project coming out of Ohio State. Let's do it this way. And, we're out. And then next year, we're going to be a high draft pick again. Maybe we go to the offensive line. Now, my theory gets busted if they don't take a quarterback in the first round of this draft. No doubt about it. But I think that's their thought process. I just think they've really done a lousy job of going about it. And part of it is because, look, this thing really took a turn for the worse, not last year, but 2 years ago when friggin' Slickback over there, whatever his name was, decides...
I didn't know you were talking about his first, and then it hit me with picture of him in my head, and I just wow.
Yeah, well, Slickback.
I wasn't ready
when he benched Eli Manning for Geno Smith, and then they had to go back to Eli Manning, and it was not good. But wow, Cleveland. I don't know if it's all going to work. They made a lot of moves, starting way back when with Kareem Hunt. People forgetting is there with Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
If I were the Eagles, I'd call about Nick Chubb. I'd make a phone call.
I'm sure they have.
I'd make a phone call.
Listen, I don't doubt that Howie has done all these things. It's just a matter of getting them done. But yeah, I mean, let's see, top to bottom, they've got Baker, then they've got Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, they've got Jarvis Landry, they've got Odell Beckham, they've got that good young tight end and David Njoku. And then their defense, they've got Myles Garrett, Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon. I mean,
they're very good. Look, on paper,
Denzel Ward.
Yeah,
back there.
We're just gonna ignore what just happened there.
See, this is why we shouldn't let Rob get sound effects.
It's fun. That wasn't actually a sound effect, though. That was just, and so I have to actually purchase the full app to get rid of those ads.
Sure.
And I just couldn't justify it until I get paid tomorrow spending the $6 on that app.
I feel like that's valid.
Yeah, once I get paid, I'll spend the $6.
I mean, I don't even know if that's valid.
Oh, it's valid. Don't worry.
All right. Anyway, but that's a good.
They're very good
team.
They're a very good young team,
and especially with the way that the Steelers have sort of fallen apart, and who knows?
Well, the whole division. I mean, now the Ravens have picked it up a little bit with their moves today.
Yeah, but I don't.
But yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. But guess what, Jess?
What?
Know what that means, Jess?
It's 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock. The league year has started. We are live on YouTube.
Let's go.
You should be following us there. This is going to be some fun. I promise you.
Super excited.
Super pumped about this. Something's going to break. For once, Jess, we're going to get...
We hope.
We're going to get something breaking on this show. I am a firm believer in that. No? You disagree?
No, I'm just looking at the fact that my uncle and my dad are the only people in the chat right now on our YouTube live.
What are they chatting about?
Jesus.
They're going off topic.
My uncle said, "Did you discuss the TJ reaction to the JoJo dunk yet?" Because he was very excited for that today. Saint Nick will be back after the Jags cut him next year. Jesus.
Oh,
and
my.
He goes, "You're my boy, Blue. No Twitter. Now that's traumatic."
Mr. Town, I'm still waiting for the okay to not have to call you Mr. Town anymore. I'm just going to put that out there.
This is hilarious.
I will not. You will be Mr. Town until, because Jess yelled at me. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up. You will be Mr. Town until I am able to say to you, or you're able to say to me to call you by your first name. So I'm just going to put that out there. Okay. So, other moves in the division as we await something to break so we can have some fun.
Other moves that have been made in the division. Well, Jason Witten has come out of retirement for $5 whole million. When they did,
I have a conspiracy theory on that.
They also haven't gotten. They did not get Earl Thomas. They're going to pay Dak Prescott like $30 million a year, and it's going to be a great time. Mm-hmm. Two of their leading defensive players have been suspended, so they had to franchise tag DeMarcus Lawrence,
and he doesn't want to sign and play for them. Which
also funny. They lost Cole Beasley, which is also funny because he. Again, so sick of that franchise as well. I'm starting to get the vibe that people don't really enjoy playing down there in Jerry World.
The only people that enjoy playing down there are the criminals because they normally get away with it because...
That is a true point.
Because he is a jerk.
He's one himself.
And you know what else he is?
A jackass.
You are one pathetic loser.
That's what he is. He's one pathetic loser. Dude, I am going to change the game with the sound effects in this show.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
The only problem is... that like this one app that does those sound effects, there's no like search. Like I have to scroll to find them. Which kind of sucks.
Well, once you figure it out, is there a way you can like favorite them?
I'm going to have to look at this. I can upgrade. I wonder if I upgrade, they give me a little bit more.
Shut up.
See? Like, I can just tell you to shut up. Or you know what you are, Jerry?
You're an idiot.
You're okay.
There it is.
This is going to be a lot more fun.
So what's your theory with Jason Witten?
That ESPN didn't want to fire him, but they knew they had to get rid of him. And they basically said, look, if you walk away, and he thought, well, if I'm walking away, I'm going to go back and play football. I personally think is what happened because he sucked as an analyst.
He's not good. Let's see. What else in the division?
So, well, I'll tell you what. How about $84 million to a sometimes linebacker, sometimes safety in Landon Collins? What are you doing?
Yeah,
they are the worst franchise ever. They just throw around money, and it has never worked.
Talk about stupid money.
Like, when do you realize that just throwing a ton... Like, yeah, Landon Collins is a nice player. Don't misunderstand me. But $85 million? What the hell is going on?
I'm with you. That's stupid.
That is stupid. I mean, now...
You're stupid.
Get your popcorn here. Let's go.
That wasn't supposed to come on.
Get
Damn it!
Popcorn here.
I have to make sure I'm on the. I gotta be quick on the board if I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, you suck at this right now.
Shut up! I gotta get rid of the ads.
So far, you suck at this.
What were you saying again?
I was saying that I said talk about stupid money.
Talk about stupid money, yeah.
Because I mean, he's a good player. I would have taken him here, not for $84 million.
No, that's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
This is coming from the franchise that didn't know the name of their quarterback for like 4 years, and wouldn't give said quarterback. That's the money he's making in Minnesota. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm like really flabbergasted by the whole thing. And then the 2-year deal. You like that one, huh?
That's a good word. This won't stay.
And then the 2-year deal for Adrian Peterson seems like a good idea, but. Are you doing this because you don't trust Darius Geis? Or are you doing this because you want 2 running backs? I mean, it wasn't a lot of money. I guess at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
I mean, we were talking about this before the show. I completely forgot about Darius Geis. I literally forgot he existed.
I didn't because I thought I wanted the Eagles to get him last year, and then they didn't, and then I ends up working out for him. Except they didn't have a running back. Just doesn't think that's a huge hole.
I'm just struggling with my microphone right now.
Just doesn't think that's a huge hole. Nick Foles will wear the number 7 for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's weird.
That's going to be strange.
That is our first breaking news of the day.
Breaking news. I need a breaking news sounder.
Breaking news. Nick Foles. Did you see the picture that was like Nick Foles when he shows up to the beach in Florida? And it's a picture of, it's like footprints, but then like a line dragged through the middle. No. It's hilarious. It's very funny. There's another one that was like $88 million. Someone tweeted was like you could get a lot of 5-toed shoes with $88 million, and someone quoted the tweet was like, yeah, and 3-legged pairs of pants.
I cried.
I did see
real
that tears
one.
laughing at that. That was funny.
That one I saw.
That was good. That's a good tweet right there.
But
That's a
so
very
there
good
you
tweet.
go. There you go. See, so we broke some news. He's wearing the number 7.
That's weird.
I mean, he wore 4 in Kansas City, didn't he?
I don't know what he wore in Kansas City. He didn't play.
Incorrect. He did play a couple times. Just want to tell you that.
2 games?
Yeah, something along those lines.
It was like 2 games, I think, in there. Alex Smith was hurt, and then they put Patrick Mahomes in at the end of the season, right? For like their last game or so.
I don't even know.
I don't remember, quite honestly.
So a lot of people think, this is just news, a lot of people think that the Pats might sign Blake Bortles after he's released as their backup. Yeah, a lot of people think that might be something to take place. So something interesting to also put out there.
Oy.
And Nelson Aguilar's 2019 salary is now guaranteed. Eagles are keeping him. They will have Jeffrey Jackson Aguilar at wide receiver, Ertz and Goddard at tight end. Who's at running back? Who is at running back?
Well, Wendell Smallwood will be there.
Oh, my God.
Corey Clement will be there. I still would really like to know what the hell his knee injury was. If anybody would like to share that information, that'd be great. Because at this point, we still don't know. Like, I know he had surgery on it. What did he tear? What was it? Someone please inform me. Share information.
Sorry, I'm upset that our running back situation is at the point where you say, the first thing you say to me is,
Wendell Smallwood.
well, Wendell Smallwood would be there.
That was more like a funny.
Yeah,
like,
was
haha.
it? Did you find that to be funny?
Not really. Do you think they try to bring Jay Ajayi back on a 1-year prove-it deal?
I think if all
Or do you
else
think,
fails,
yeah, okay. Follow.
listen, I'm holding out a lot of hope for either Tevin Coleman or Jordan Howard, and I even have this crazy idea in my head where both Tevin Coleman and Jordan Howard come here, and you totally revamp the committee as those two guys, and either a rookie or Corey Clement, like you draft a guy 4th, 5th round and have him compete with Corey Clement. I can't watch. Look, I know he was nice at the end of the year. I do. I get it. He's a nice guy. People like him. Wendell Smallwood does not move the needle for me. He does not move the needle for me. It's just not. That's not the guy you want on your Super Bowl, hopefully Super Bowl caliber team. I mean, I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do that.
I mean, I just think so. Personally, my number one is trading for Jordan Howard. If they get Tevin Coleman, I will not be upset by any means, but I just don't think he is the winner in that deal. I just don't think he's the winner by any means. We talked about this before. He's a maybe 1-2, which is all we need, but I don't know. I don't know if he's the workhorse that we're looking for. Now, I'd be more than...
No, he's just better than what you have.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, damn it, we got Tevin Cole. Like, no, that's still... Oh, my microphone moved again. I wouldn't...
We're having a lot of trouble with technical issues
I
here
really
today.
am just having an issue right now. I wouldn't be upset with that by any means. That would be silly. But I just think that, Jordan Howard, I think, is just a much better fit for, kind of what we need. And you're right. I would not be upset if they did.
Well, and I think a lot of people say that Coleman's a better fit because of the pass catching. I get that. And look, he doesn't have a lot of tread. He's young. Mm-hmm. There's just no doubt about that. I like both guys. I'd probably be happy with either one. I've always said I'd be happier with Jordan Howard. I think me and you are in the minority on this.
Yeah, which is weird.
Because a lot of people seem to not like him. And some people that I really...
You know what, Rob? Not a lot of people are as smart as we are.
This is also a true statement. You just called me Rob. That was weird. Like, just in conversational flow.
That's your name, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't really ever call me by name. You call me jackass or jerk or something.
That's a fair point, I guess.
I don't even know what's happening here.
Okay, but anyway, so yeah, most people aren't as smart as we are, and I just think that Jordan Howard, good young kid, would be. I mean, he's what we're looking for. He is exactly what you and I are saying.
Well, Joe Douglas was there when he was drafted. Joe Douglas was working under Calvin Pace, was it? Is that who was there?
I'm not sure if the Bears would pick up the phone if we called right about now.
They will. They will. They can.
wouldn't.
They're not going to hold that against us that we beat them in the playoffs. Matt Nagy's face hasn't changed. By the way, that's breaking news. It's still the same as it was when the double doink took place.
They released Cody Parkey.
No.
Yeah.
How dare them release Cody Parkey?
They were so pissed because he went on like Good Morning America and whatnot. And there was a whole big thing, and Matt Nagy was so mad about it.
I would have been pissed too.
Listen, I didn't say it was wrong. I just think it's funny.
I think it was wrong.
No, I mean, I didn't. No, I didn't think it was wrong. And he was pissed about it.
Got it.
I still think it's funny.
So let's talk about we've talked about the NFC East now. Let's talk about the rest of the league. Okay, kind of looking at a couple things here. I thought the Detroit Lions did a nice job.
By the way, my dad said, "All good. Call me Andy."
All right, Andy. It's nice to meet you.
Anyway, Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. They bring in it's Patriots Midwest is what they're being called.
Signed Amendola, didn't they?
Signed Amendola. Signed Trey Flowers.
So I have my list here.
I think they might have even. Did they sign anybody else? They signed Justin Coleman from Seattle. But I think they've made some nice moves. They try and continue the rebuild there with Matt Patricia. You know, they had some good moves. I thought they did well last season. I thought they were okay for most of the season. NFL free Jamie Lynch, great tweet. NFL free agency is really boring. 12 minutes and barely anything. They should learn from the MLB model and spice this up.
Jamie Lynch is my favorite.
He's a fantastic follow on Twitter. So what else? What else happened that you want to talk about here? The Raiders?
Wait. No. Pause. We missed this with the Redskins. Case Keenum?
How about the fact that, Charlie Casserly makes a huge mistake on NFL Network the other day by saying that the Cowboys made a mistake by throwing to Des Bryant more than Cole Beasley last year.
Idiots!
Doesn't work. But then people now are on the hunt for him, kind of like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
And he says the Redskins don't have a franchise quarterback. And everybody on the panel took shot. Yes, they do. They brought in Case Keenum. I think what Charlie Casserly was trying to say was they don't have a franchise quarterback. Case Keenum sucks. Really bad.
If you forget how bad, please go watch the footage from the 2017 NFC Championship game. It'll give you an idea.
Yeah. My God.
So that's one that was interesting.
$30 million for 3 receivers. I just think it's
okay. That's enough out of you with that.
I can't be happy about it.
Tyrann Mathieu to the Chiefs. That's an interesting
big
one.
deal. And it sounds like not to pair with Eric Berry, but to move on from Eric Berry,
which is interesting.
Which I don't know if it's just that the injury history has, got to be too much with them. It's amazing watching Andy Reid now.
Yeah.
Would Andy Reid ever throw a 3-year, $42 million deal to safety 10 years ago?
I don't think so.
No. He's a different breed right now with some of these moves that he makes. But
yeah, it's interesting.
So there's that. We didn't talk about Jordan Hicks going to Arizona really a lot.
I mean, we touched on it. Good for him.
Yeah, good.
But they also signed Terrell Suggs. They've got an interesting little fling they're doing down there.
I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. Are they rebuilding or are they playing to win?
I don't know.
Because in one breath, they're making these moves for an older player like Terrell Suggs. They're making a move for a guy like Jordan Hicks, who's supposed to be a bona fide starter when he's healthy. They bring back Larry Fitzgerald for another year. But then they're talking about making another switch quarterback and drafting Kyler Murray.
That's because Larry Fitzgerald is an ageless god at the wide receiver position.
I love him.
He's great. But yeah, I don't know.
I cannot figure this out.
It's that Sean McVay BS.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury, who has a 500 record as a college coach and then gets a job over a lot of NFL head coaching candidates that deserved it, especially the African-American ones. Racist organization in Arizona. Just what I'm saying.
Hot take.
Oh, I put that out.
No, that happened before.
Yeah, I put that out. It was, but
it's not a new hot take.
No.
Just firmly still believe it.
Still a damn hot take, though, baby. Still a hot take.
Okay, so we talked about that. How about Eric Weddle going to the Rams?
It doesn't move the needle for the Rams, in my opinion.
No, I don't think it moves it for them. I was just surprised that's where he went, quite honestly. I was surprised that's
Well, apparently, I didn't really. You know what? He played all those years in San Diego before going to Baltimore. He's apparently a California guy.
I didn't know that.
Getting towards the end of his career, probably sees that team as being as good a chance as any to get to a Super Bowl, maybe win one.
Yeah.
So he signs with them. I think the Rams have done. Listen, they keep Dante Fowler in the mix.
Yeah,
I think it was a good
big
move for them. The Odell Beckham to Cleveland trade is now official.
It was only a 1-year deal, though, that they gave him.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Here's breaking news. We just were talking about it. Kansas City has released Eric Berry.
Wow.
He has not. They have not traded. They have released. So does he get a lot of money, or is he a guy that comes in and can be, I don't know, a third safety somewhere? Although there was already talk that the Cleveland Browns were in contact with the Chiefs about Eric Berry. So does he just lock up there, and now they're just continuing to get better? God, I love Eric Berry just because of the whole...
amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
The whole story. So, some things are happening here.
Interesting.
And,
it'll continue.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How about the Raiders continuing, even with Mike Mack, to just throw money around like, I don't know, $66 million over 4 years to an offensive tackle?
Yeah.
Trent Brown comes over from New England. Obviously, the Antonio Brown deal. They also signed...
They extended AB, too, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, they signed Tyrell Williams today. Mm-hmm. So you trade Amari Cooper and you bring in Antonio Brown and Tyrell Williams. I mean, you know, look, everyone was jumping on him. Why would you do that? Why would you do it? Well, they got a first-round pick for it and then swapped in Antonio Brown, who you might think he's crazy, but he's one of the best receivers in the game.
Damn good receiver.
Although I say this all the time, these receivers, even at the prime, in their prime, go to Oakland and just die. Like, they just disappear. So we'll have to see how it works out. I hope it works out. I hope Antonio Brown can get his head on straight.
We'll see.
The Le'Veon sweepstakes.
He needs to dye that mustache back to its normal color, though. Let's start there.
Yeah. The Le'Veon sweepstakes. Le'Veon goes to the Jets, 4 years, $52.5 million. After the Jets had already, as we talked about earlier, 5 years, $85 million to C.J. Mosley. And you feel bad for a guy like Quan Alexander, who thought he was going to be who was the highest paid linebacker for all of 12 hours until C.J. Mosley signed his contract.
Right.
Quan going out to San Francisco.
So bummed about that, quite honestly.
Yeah, I
really wanted Quan Alexander.
That happened super duper fast.
Yeah. It did.
I'm trying to think of.
Let's see. Well, I have them all written down here of all the different things that happened.
So why don't you go ahead? You speak.
Dee Ford was traded to the 49ers.
Yeah, saw that. It's a good move for San Francisco. They're going to try and build that defense up out there.
Frank Gore signed with the Bills. Cole Beasley went to the Bills.
Hold on, let's talk about Frank Gore with the Bills real quick.
He stayed there longer than 6 minutes.
And he said that LaShawn won. So you mean to tell me they are going to go with Frank Gore and LaShawn McCoy as their backs?
Yep.
That's an aging backfield if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
I said he meant to Sean Jackson.
So there's that. That Cole Beasley, who has already taken his shot at Dallas, so he's automatically become one of my favorite individuals that doesn't play in an Eagles uniform.
Loved it.
The Saints signed Latavius Murray.
Saints signed Latavius Murray to kind of fill that Mark Ingram role. Okay.
They re-signed Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I think.
Which I thought was interesting.
Are they attempting to build him to be the heir apparent to
maybe
Drew
because this
Brees?
is the last year of Drew Brees' deal.
Right.
Because he signed that 2-year, $50 million.
Right.
In, 2017, I guess. And then the Packers signing Zadarius Smith.
I have to keep saying this because it just keeps popping up. I really hope Doug uses his years in Kansas City to get Eric Berry to at least talk to us. I would love you get that as your 3 safety tandem. I'm not as worried about the linebacker position.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what I mean?
Right.
They need 3 safeties. If you could find a way to make Berry buy into that and then understand that, when McLeod's done at the end of the year, Berry steps into that role.
Right. How old Eric Berry, you know?
Is he 20? I can find out while you're reading down the list.
Okay.
And stop at anyone you want to and talk about it. I can talk when I'm looking.
Carlos Hyde signed with the Chiefs.
Yes.
That was interesting to me.
There's a replacement from Kareem Hunt.
That's another guy that I would have taken a look at had, some of the other running backs not worked out.
Wow, Eric Berry's already 30?
I thought he was close to 30.
Jesus.
Dwayne Allen signing with the Dolphins.
By the way, the Dolphins just cut guard Josh Sitton. Could be a backup potential for the Philadelphia Eagles right there.
What else is here? Skins releasing Zach Brown, their linebacker. Earl Thomas going to the Ravens. The Ravens signing Mark Ingram.
Just reading down.
Cameron Wake is going to the Titans.
Yeah, that happened, late last night?
Yeah.
That was another late last night.
And Tyrod Taylor just signed a 2-year deal with the Chargers.
Which I think the Dolphins wanted him, so very interesting to see how no one wants to go to Miami ever.
Bye, Geno Smith. Because Geno was the backup in L.A. or for the Chargers.
Man, talk about the fact that everybody was right about Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Normally when so many people are against something and ends up working out, it did not work out for him. Joe Flacco deal was official. He's a Denver Bronco.
So where the hell is
How's that going to work?
Dude, I don't know.
Is John Elway just a terrible quarterback guy after he was such a great player?
I think John Elway is just terrible at this job, period. Maybe not even just quarterbacks, just terrible in general. Unless there's a guy named Peyton Manning involved.
All right, let's look at some of the guys that are left.
Oh, and Jamison Crowder's with the Jets.
Screw the Jets. I have to have an argument because there's a kid that I teach who is a Jets fan. And I basically told him, yes, congratulations, you made a bunch of signings. You're still irrelevant. He said, oh, how do you feel? Because you want to know why? I had to ask him who their coach was. Oh, Adam Gase. I said, oh, there's a winner. He did a really good bang-up job.
I totally forgot that they hired him.
Yeah. Don't you remember?
Yeah. I remember now. I completely forgot. Big-eyed gaze. So, I mean, I'm not worried about... He had to be on something at that interview, right?
He took the Jets job. He had to be on something to take that.
That's a fair point.
I'm going after the Jets. I don't even care.
The Jets suck.
Wow. You know what I need to do? I need to probably get off of this Wi-Fi, and things will load a little bit quicker for me.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is just not great.
I'm not doing what I needed to do today. So we'll LET it or whatever they call that. Yep, nothing has happened.
No, except Le'Veon Bell officially tweeted about the Jets now.
Oh, did he?
Nick Foles is a Jaguar.
Saints don't tender Tommy Lee Lewis, who seemed to kill the Eagles every time they played the Saints last year. Dave Zangaro tweets, just ran into Mac Hollins, said he met Deshaun Jackson today. I asked him if there's some negotiating for the number 10. Mac laughed and said, we'll see. Sounds like
Mac,
Deshaun
you have absolutely no right.
Sounds like
try to argue for your number.
Get your money.
Try to argue for his number.
No, he's
not.
Number. He's not. He laughed and said, "We'll see." It seems like he's going to get it.
Oh, great! Yes, fantastic.
Well, get your money. I make him pay me.
Well, yeah. Don't do what Landry Shamet did and just change numbers willingly. He didn't want the problem with Jimmy Butler.
He got traded anyway.
Poor Landry. I miss Landry.
Happy birthday to Landry. Today is Landry Shamet's birthday.
Landry. We miss you.
I'm good.
Really? Jonathan Simmons, you're good?
Well, they got Tobias Harris for Landry Shamet.
You're right. They did.
You want to get rid of Tobias?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
Shut it! That was a joke. Don't take offense. Don't be mad.
We're not friends anymore today.
We're friends.
I'm done with you for the day.
Well, unfortunately, you can't because we still have about 40 minutes left of the show.
Sucks. No, I mean, the things have been shaken up a little bit. I mean, if the Eagles don't win the division, I think the city will riot.
I hate paper champs, though. And that's right now all we are.
Yeah. As long as nobody comes in here with any dream team BS, we'll be fine. We'll be all right.
Speaking of which, this is why I'm not ready to jump on the Cleveland Browns for the Super Bowl bandwagon. Teams have to gel. Why don't you let them play a few games before people start putting them out there as a Super Bowl champ? First of all, I want to make sure Odell Beckham is not just a prima donna everywhere who causes issues in a locker room. Who's their head coach?
I don't know.
Wasn't their quarterback's coach or something, or offense coordinator?
Yeah, somebody got... I don't know.
It wasn't Greg Williams because he's with the Jets now. Cleveland Browns head coach. No, it's not Greg Williams.
No, I knew it wasn't Greg Williams.
Freddie Kitchens. So, We have a guy who's never coached. Now they're going to be a Super Bowl team? Doesn't work that way. Stop with the Sean McVay crap.
Sean McVay sucks.
I won't go that far. I think you're a little bit over
but
the
Doug
line.
Peterson's better than Sean McVay.
Man, still hasn't been able to get a coach of the year over him,
That's all right.
even though he's beat him twice.
That's all right. We've beaten him twice, and we have a Super Bowl that came out of it as well.
Word. Yes, I just
Irrelevant. The coach of the year, irrelevant. It's not a Lombardi trophy. I don't care about it. I just want the big one.
what is that? How do you do that? This is what I don't understand about the NBA, the NFL.
What?
Can confirm the Chiefs are releasing Berry via a post-June 1st cut. How can you make it a post-June 1st cut in March?
Yeah, that's silly. Why?
Because it saves them money. Deleted the previous tweet because it was pre-June 1st info, not relevant. Basically, in that scenario, the team saves $9.5 million this season while eating $6.95 in dead money. They don't receive that cap space until June, so that's what it is. They just don't get the space.
Got it.
Okay, until June. So there's that. I'm telling you, I'd take a run at Eric Berry.
I don't see why not.
You need a third safety.
I mean, your theory about saying, hey, when and if we lose McLeod next year, you can step into that spot. I don't know about promising him that.
No, you can't go that far. I didn't realize he was already 30. That was my fault. But I mean, who's better as your third safety, Eric Berry or Corey Graham? There's.
I'm sorry, I missed your question. I was reading that Eric Rowe signed a 1-year, $3.5 deal with the Dolphins. So Alshon Jeffrey gets to have a nice visit with him again this year after toasting him left and right. Hey,
Eric.
You suck.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Everybody got so pissed when they traded Eric Rowe.
I don't know why. He was trash. And it was very obvious that he was trash. So I'm unsure there, but...
All right. Hey, Eagles, 25 minutes left in the show. Why don't you make a move so we can report it?
Panthers re-signing Darrell Williams to a 1-year deal. Right tackle. Chiefs released Eric Berry.
Darrell Williams was a guy I liked from a standpoint of backup.
Gronk has not made a firm decision on whether he is playing or not.
All right. I think what we should do, because this can't be fun radio watching us look at our phones.
No.
Phones go away, Jess.
Oh, boy.
Phones go away.
Mine's on 3% anyway. So.
Let's chat.
All right, about what?
Shall we? Oh, no. How's your day? No. The next move you want to see the Birds make?
I want them to trade for Jordan Howard. I would like them to trade for Jordan Howard. Please. Could ya? That'd be lovely.
You want Jordan Howard?
I want Jordan Howard.
Okay. Obviously, you know I want a running back, but I'm just to play different from you. Here's the move I want.
All right, what?
The Washington Redskins. Wow.
English.
Wow.
Words.
The Washington Redskins released linebacker Zach Brown today.
Uh-huh.
Very good linebacker last year.
Yeah.
Sign him.
I mean, yeah.
Do you disagree?
No.
That's what I want to happen.
All right.
Right now, sign the damn guy.
Would you rather that, or would you rather them try to trade up and get Devin Bush?
They're not going to trade up. I know everyone's talking that. I don't
think they will either. I don't see any reason to.
They're going to stay at 25. They're going to pick the best guy available. And whether that is a Josh Jacobs, what happened?
Someone has an opinion.
Yes. Yes.
If they're just taking first round picks or players,
right.
You can have number 25 for Saquon.
I'm totally on board with them trading for Saquon.
You need another wide receiver? You can take Nelson Aguilar and a first round pick, and we'll take Saquon Barkley right off your hands.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another name that someone I think they threw it out. There's a joke, but it's part of why I asked about this team and if they're buying or selling, so to speak, for this season. Mm-hmm. If the Arizona Cardinals are set with trying to rebuild and start anew, do you make a phone call about David Johnson?
No, I think he's too old to trade for. I think he's 31. Or maybe we had this conversation before and he's not as old as I thought he was. I think we might have actually had the same exact discussion before. And he's like 28.
Here she is backtracking.
No, now that I think about it, I think we've had this exact conversation.
He's 27.
Oh, okay. See, I think we did have the same.
And the only injury he had was a broken wrist or arm. And last year, Walter Payton Jim Brown, no one could have ran behind that team because they stunk.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Knowing that, I would make a call.
I'd make a phone call and see if you can get them to send you. Because David Johnson's someone who would excite me.
Yeah.
That would excite me very much. Well, all over the.
Who's someone that wouldn't excite you?
Someone that wouldn't
Drafting
excite
one?
TJ Yeldon doesn't excite me.
No, I would agree. I would agree with that. That's fair.
I'm okay with drafting one. I almost want them to. I want to see him maybe sign a guy 3-year deal, something like that. Draft a guy that can be part of the committee that can, in 3 years, become your lead back. Like I know the sexy name out there is Joshua Jacobs from Alabama. If they took him, would I be upset? No. I think he's a hard runner. But I guess my whole thing is I'm just fearful of putting our trust into a rookie back when, look, I know the Saquons and the Gurleys have worked out.
But that's because they were the Saquons and the Gurleys.
Well, but then I know the
There's
Alvin
no
Kamara's.
one like that.
I know the Alvin Kamaras have worked out.
But we've struck out on
For
those.
them, for every one of them, there's a...
Donnell Pumphrey.
Well, we're friggin' terrible at drafting them. But I'm trying to think of the guy. There's Eddie Lacy. Has a big year and then just disappeared.
Right.
I don't want to put it up to that. I'm nervous about that.
No, I'm with you. And I said that earlier today, even, that I just am worried about completely leaving it up to... Because I said this exact thing. Saquon, there was no risk there. Todd Gurley, there was very minimal risk there.
Yes.
You know, guys like the Alvin Kamaras, there was a higher risk there, but he happened to work out there. But then, you know, we took Donnell Pumphrey, and that didn't work out, you know? So there's just too much risk there. And for this draft, like I said earlier, there is nobody that is a sure thing in this draft. Do they even have a running back that's projected in the first round? Is there a running back projected in the first round?
Joshua Jacobs is the one that comes up a lot.
That's projected to potentially be in the first round?
Potentially be in the first round.
Right, potentially. There's no one that is this is a first round pick running back.
Right.
That scares me if that is your best option at running
like
back.
I said, I don't mind you drafting Joshua Jacobs, but I want somebody else here as well. By the way, one guy who we haven't even said his name because he's not a big name free agent. I will be astonished if Vinny Curry's not back here on a small deal.
But it's going to take a while. It's going to, because no one else is going to sign him. I don't think.
No,
I think it's going to be a very late end signing. And
by the way, those of you that are saying just bring back Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount, it worked 2 years ago. Stop with the retreads.
They're both 2 years older.
Stop with the retreads. It's not going to work. Just don't do it, please.
I never thought we should have let LeGarrette Blount leave in the first place. They should have kept him last year. That would have been different than, he's a year older. Jay Ajayi's an ACL surgery older. I mean, it's just, I wouldn't be upset with keeping Ajayi on a 1-year prove-it deal and drafting a running back. That I'd be okay with. I wouldn't be as excited about it as I would be as a trading for Jordan Howard or something like that.
Or anything along those lines.
I think trading for Jordan Howard is my biggest, you should do this.
Man, this tampering period really sucks.
Well, the tampering period already happened.
Yeah, but then it just normally, I used to remember when that clock hit 4 o'clock on the first, bam, all these moves just started popping up. Like everything that we've seen over 2 days was in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you were just all pumped up. Who I wanted until the Eagles got to Deshaun Jackson was John Brown. And he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo really revamps their receivers with Beasley and John Brown. You got a speedster, you got a slot guy. Does that help? That's Josh Allen, right? Josh Rosen's in Arizona.
Yes.
That helps him out. Chicago has to be trading Jordan Howard. They give Mike Davis a 2-year deal, and you already have Tariq Cohen. You have to be moving Jordan Howard, don't you?
I would assume so. You know what's really funny?
What's that?
The Dallas Cowboys tweeted that Earl Thomas has agreed to a 4-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. It was almost like they were taking shots at their fans. They're jackasses. They just are.
That's sad. This is sad. That's extreme. That's your team announcing that other players want to sign with other teams and not yours.
Yeah.
What is that?
Not fun.
Dallas
Malik
sucks.
Jackson is wearing his high school Letterman jacket to the press conference right now. That's awesome.
He said that it was to show kids that success is possible. I love him already.
Now, apparently, and Howard Eskin put this out there earlier, he was the 2017 Jaguars Walter Payton nominee. Mm-hmm. He's won a lot of these service types awards. So right off the bat, I love how he, is going to fit. Do we want to listen in a little bit?
Yeah, why not?
To the air? We'll put it out on the air here. Yeah, I can do that.
Do that.
I'm taking this from PhiladelphiaEagles.com just so I'm not sued later.
Yes.
Okay.
It's awesome because I feel like that's what we tried to make in Jacksonville. Young guys. I mean, for example, reference when we played the Pittsburgh Steelers 2 years ago. They were that old, Steeler ball. We were those young guys coming in, had nothing to lose, and just real gritty and mean, and just smacking people in the face. And so that's what I'm trying to. They already have that here, so it should be easy for me to fit right in.
Malik in Jackson.
About Jim Schwartz. Did you know about Jim Schwartz and his scheme and what he wants from interior?
I've heard a lot about him just through players throughout the league. Heard he's a hard-nosed coach. He wants what he wants. He's going to get it out of you, and it's up to you to give it to him. But once you work for him, he's a good guy. He'll treat you respectfully, and he'll give you opportunities. So I think I say players coach, but I think he's a players coach that expects and demands excellence. And that's it. Once you know what a guy expects, it's easy.
Well, in terms of playing next to Fletcher Cox, he plays primarily 3 technique, and my understanding is you do as well. Mm-hmm. Can you play the 1 technique? Are you comfortable there?
I mean, I can do all 4 in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the things that sets me apart is being able to play all 4 positions on the D-line and help wherever I'm needed to. So, I'm just here just to fit in. Like I said, this is Fletcher's team, D-line, and I'm brought in here just to help him out and try to get us back to the Super Bowl.
Malik, when you were in Jacksonville, you brought up how much the veterans in Denver kind of shaped your ability to lead. Mm-hmm. You then brought up that coming into a locker room with established leaders. How much do you think that's taking that kind of leadership pressure off of you will help you kind of in the day-to-day?
I thought about that a lot, and I think it will help me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, going in Jacksonville, for example, it was a lot. You got to do this. This team wasn't good. We have to get back to the top. We need guys in here. We need you to get guys in here, speak to guys. So, but now here you just come in here and just play football, and it's a relief. It's a lot of weight off my shoulders. I don't have to come in here and be the guy or say things or do things. It's just come in here and lead by example. And if you have something to say it. But that's not my role here.
What are some of your pass rush moves? I mean, what do you think, some of your pass rush moves and some of the advantages that you have over interior linemen? I
think I'm fast, I think I'm fast in the inside. I'm long, so I'm able to get on guys a little faster, using my length to stay away from them. Plus, I just had a lot of guys help me. I like to say Von Miller has really shaped me. I was able to be with guys like Sean Phillips, DeMarcus Ware, Calais Campbell. So being around those ends, /3 techniques, but mostly ends. I just try to emulate my game after them. So me being able to learn from them helps me because, like I said, I'm a slender, faster guy on the inside, so I can essentially do the same thing they're doing out there, just in a tighter box. So it helps me when you have guys like that just to show you how to do it. You can kind of take parts and make it your own. So,
all right, just give you a little taste there. A little taste of Malik. He sounds good. Him. I'm a fan. Welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles Twitter page for periscoping that, supplying us with that. I was looking at the list. There's a couple guys out there that are older that I would love from a depth, and really the one I think I would love to at least give him a shot because he was so good. I mean, I know he's getting older and probably past his prime. 2 guys. One's a D-end or an edge rusher. The other one is a linebacker. Justin Houston, KJ Wright.
Are you going to elaborate on that at all, or?
I mean, for the Eagles. I'm just curious what you think. Throwing it out there to you. And then Ndamukong Suh.
No. Hell no. That's a firm hell no.
All right.
But Justin Houston, yeah. I wouldn't be, just to kind of chat with him, see what would go on, possibly.
Ziggy Ansah. I mean, I think there's another edge rusher out there that they can get. And hopefully they, do. Look, I don't think by any means the Eagles are done. Are they going to sit back and maybe wait for the first wave to crash? Yeah, I think at this point, outside of maybe a Tevin Coleman. I mean, I think if they're going to go after a running back, it has to be immediately because there won't be any left. And look, maybe they've decided that they're drafting one and that's that. I just really hope that is not the situation.
Yeah.
I just really hope that's not the situation.
I just don't want them. Like I said, I don't want them to completely rely on drafting one. That's not what I think is going to be their best bet.
Right.
Because they don't have a good track record there.
All right, so we are into the final 20 minutes of the madness. This is about the time every week where we go to our This is Madness. I didn't bring my flash drive, Jess.
You're the worst. You are the absolute worst.
This is madness. I'm sorry.
You suck.
Wow. you just came at me, dude.
Well,
look,
you
man,
literally have like one job, and that's bring your flash drive.
I understand that, but there's a lot of other stuff happening, all right? So guess what?
Shut up!
That's rude. I like that one.
That one was fun.
That one's fun.
We're going to have to learn all these.
I'm going to need that one. I'm going to need that one in my life just for daily
We could just start the show with.
I'm going to need that just to really walk around in daily life.
And really, when you said you suck, what I was looking for was.
You suck, you jackass.
That's the one I was looking for. Wonderful. Okay, This is Madness. Brought to you by us because we don't have any advertisers yet, but that will change soon, Jess.
Yeah.
We will get them. Go ahead.
So, before my phone dies, Patrick sent me this the other day. Where the heck is it? Oh, right here. He sent me... So, the NFL posted this picture of LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore, and they have the most combined career rush yards by a team duo in the NFL. And the NFL's caption was, the Buffalo Bills' new running back duo is legendary. And Patrick goes, legendary is definitely not the word to describe this backfield. Running backs are like cars, and those have a lot of miles on them. And I died laughing. But I think it's funny that the NFL put, maybe they are both legends, but I wouldn't necessarily call the current backfield legendary.
Yeah, it's not a legendary backfield anymore. That's a...
maybe, 6 years ago it would have been. But that's not right now.
You know what I say to that? I was just looking for one.
You have got to be kidding.
That's what I say to that.
That one's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yours? Next?
Okay.
What do you got?
Mine is, seriously, I have not been able to get over how stupid this was.
You're an idiot.
Why I have to put that out there again. Did you see the news story this week about the woman at the Arizona... animal place?
Yes.
Okay. If you haven't seen it, a woman decided that she wanted to get a picture with a jaguar. Okay.
Not the NFL ones.
No.
A real life one, like a big jungle cat.
So instead of just with the being separated by the enclosement and taking a selfie and trying to get both of you in it.
Like a normal goddamn person.
She climbed the fence. She climbs the fence. And when she climbs the fence, she is attacked and killed. Not killed. Injured.
Relax. She was attacked, shockingly enough. And then I think people are starting to feel bad. Why are you feeling bad for her? She was like, it was my fault. Really? No way.
Oh, come on!
But this
Be better.
These animals then from that, they have to be put down and things like that because people are too stupid to function. Like Harambe. R.I.P.
I still get teary-eyed when thinking about Harambe.
Now, granted, it was a terrible thing that happened to that child, but bad parenting.
He didn't do it to that child.
Bad parenting.
Bad parenting.
Bad parenting.
Awful parenting.
And just the people, this happens. Why does this happen so much? Why so much? That people are climbing into enclosures in zoos. If that's really what it's going to come down to, then zoos need to no longer be a thing. Zoos across the world need to be closed if that's what's going to happen, because that's absurd.
What's this one?
You use language like that again, son. You wish you hadn't.
Huh, that was good parenting. That was the opposite of bad parenting.
Bad parenting. We're on bad parenting. That's terrible.
It's just so stupid. It really pissed me off and annoyed me. All right, go ahead.
So I'm going to tell you about a McDonald's experience that Joe and I had earlier this week. Not a good one. Now, I will say, I don't think that anyone's standards are very high for a McDonald's meal. If they are, you need to do some self-evaluation for some other reasons. However, if you have like high standards for the quality of meal and service that you're getting from it, McDonald's is McDonald's. It's great, but your standards are not very high for McDonald's.
It's also great at killing you, but
right.
Yes.
9 times out of 10, their ice cream machine's not going to work. They're not going to have what you want half the time you go there. Your standards are not very high. So a few weeks ago, we went one night and Joe ordered a milkshake. And of course, ice cream, we don't have milkshakes. Ice cream machines don't work. He goes, all right, fine. Can I get 2 apple pies? She's like, we're out of apple pies. He went, what? So then we decided to give that McDonald's another try the other night. We were hungry. It was late. It was like 11 o'clock. We were hungry.
I would be so pissed off if I wanted a milkshake and they were out of it.
Oh, they always are.
It brings me up a story.
So we go back. We ordered we each ordered a McChicken and 2 large fries. That is literally all we got. We get to the front, we get our bag, and he goes, check that to make sure everything's in there, as I usually do. Or as we usually do before we leave these places. So open 2 things of fries. I'm like, okay. And I see 2, like McChicken sandwich wrappers. Well, I look closer. There are 2 things of fries. There are 2 McChickens tossed in the bag and 2 McChickens sandwich wrappers. They did not wrap the McChickens in the wrappers. There were just 2 McChickens tossed in the bag and the wrappers still folded up, tossed in on top of it. It was the most ridiculous thing. Like, again, the standards for McDonald's are not very high, but that is my limit. That's where I draw my line. We drove back around and parked, and he went inside and got us new McChickens.
Did he say this?
You disgust me.
Possibly, because he walked in there and was like, we were handed this bag of literally 2 naked McChickens just hanging out in the bag and then 2 McChicken wrappers, and we're not going to eat this. So we got 2 wrapped McChickens. But it was so ridiculous. Standards not very high, expectations not very high.
That's bad.
But that was ridiculous.
That is bad.
That was really bad.
Yeah, there's nothing good about that. There's nothing.
It was really sad.
I'm almost sad, and it has nothing to do with me.
I was really sad. It was unfortunate.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, I want to actually set up my next one.
Oh, okay. You couldn't have done that while I was talking?
I forgot.
All right. You think that would have been better?
You disgust me.
I want to make you laugh.
I need to have.
I'm going to hit one.
I need to have one of those too, so I can come back again.
I'm going to hit one here that's just going to make you laugh.
People are going to stop.
Here he is, the biggest douche of the universe. In all the galaxies, there's no bigger douche than you.
That's for you, Jerry Jones. I actually thought they were just going to say the word. I just want to do this. Okay, let's open it up this way. Oh, that's an ad. I got to really start paying attention to the fact that there's ads.
Okay. From our NBC News headquarters,
Not what I wanted. Wait a minute. Wait.
It's already out there. It's already out there.
Why are 2 things playing? I don't want 2 things to be playing.
Oh my God, you are really screwing this up right now. This is not going to be as exciting as you're building it up to be.
It is, though.
It's not.
Does anyone know this theme song?
Full House.
Full House. I'm surprised you knew that.
I love Full House.
I'm going to continue to play it in the background. Okay. Growing up a young boy, 8, 9, maybe 10, watching TGIF on a Friday night. When at 8 o'clock, Full House, to 8:30, Family Matters, to 9 o'clock, Step by Step. Oh, yeah. I had a crush. It's the first crush for a young boy.
I didn't know this was where.
And the crush was going to one Aunt Becky. Very attractive young woman. To this day, still looks exactly the same. Although I'm curious how she's going to look with an orange jumpsuit behind bars. After she paid $500,000 to get her daughter into college. $500,000 to get her daughter into USC. And then, oh, may I add, as I'm now going to try and pull up another video. Okay. Let's see. All I got to do is type in the last name.
Again, you really have set this up very poorly.
Lori Loughlin's daughter in August. This is what she said on a video posted. I don't care about school. I'm going to USC for game day and partying. First of all, Lori, you disappoint me. You were on a show that was all about family freaking morals, and then you break them all.
Have mercy.
Got
him. See, I don't need sound bites. I have my own self.
Oh, good for you. Just so disappointed. First of all, I mean, am I surprised by this? No.
That this happens in the world? No.
I'm just surprised it was Aunt Becky. Lori, why?
Aunt Becky.
My first crush ever is a convict. You know.
I apologize for nothing.
Yeah, I know, Lori. You're not apologizing for anything. You're a jerk.
That was horrible.
And now I'm mad. I thought it was just going to say.
That was horrible.
Shut up, you.
That was terrible.
It was just to make you shut up. That's all that was to make you shut up.
I had already stopped talking. So.
Okay. So that was my second one. Go ahead. You're up, jerk.
No boogers.
All right, that's enough out of you. I would assume that this is one you
Kiss my butt.
Will you literally let me speak? Let me speak!
The kiss my butt was a good one, though. That was good.
I hate you.
That was good. Go. Speak.
So I assume that we're probably both going to have this on our list, and this is about an incident that happened the other night in the NBA, so I figured we'll take some time to discuss this, and then after this, I am done.
Okay.
To anyone out there that feels like Russell Westbrook is in the wrong for anything, you are a complete and total jackass. If I don't care, male, female, what color, race, origin of any kind you are, you don't speak that way to another individual. And he absolutely had the right to say and defend himself in any way he deemed fit. I don't care if he's an athlete that's supposed to be held to a different standard and keep his composure. You do not let and allow someone to speak to you that way. He's not a monkey in a cage. He is another human being who has a family, has a wife, has children. He's perfectly aware of, you know, if someone were to say that to his children, his wife, you know, he is absolutely in the right in the situation. I understand why the NBA fined him. I get it. I mean, $25,000 is not going to make or break Russell Westbrook. Apparently, the guy who was yapping behind him is planning on suing Russell Westbrook as well. For whatever he's planning on suing Russ for, Russ can probably sue him back for the same exact thing. And I will promise you that Russell Westbrook will, not run out of money nearly as quickly as this other gentleman will. So it would probably be in his best interest to not try to sue Russell Westbrook, because he probably also won't be able to afford as good of a lawyer as Russell Westbrook will. And that's exactly what's wrong with, the world we live in today. Is this jackass just thinks that's totally fine. I'm not going to get into anything beyond that and the correlations it has with other things and, what was found on his Twitter and things like that. I don't really want to go down that path, but I'm not a Russell Westbrook fan. I don't really particularly like Russell Westbrook. I don't really, like the way he's a fantastic basketball player, but I don't typically love the way that he acts most of the time. But, in this, with this situation, I'm 100% in his corner, no questions asked.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue it. I can't argue him standing up for himself and all that. Can people do it in a different way? Maybe.
Sure.
Yelling, "I'll F you and your wife up."
Yeah,
probably.
I mean,
probably
don't necessarily agree with it.
Probably stretch it, but I understand being angry.
Especially
if
the guy said it, and apparently his wife then reiterated it and said the exact same thing.
Right, and
that's where she opened that door for herself.
Yeah, I'm not. I just look. I'm with you. You stand up for yourself in any one of those situations. I just think there's certain ways that you probably shouldn't went about it. Maybe like he shouldn't have with the "I'll F you up." Like, granted,
Sure.
this guy, I'm in no way defending. You know me.
Yeah.
You know me
Yeah.
very well.
We were on the same
and
page.
Utah is a major issue. This happens a lot, apparently, out in Utah. Someone put out, man, how racist do you have to be to get banned for life for being racist in Utah? Like it's not a good situation. So my last one also comes from the NBA. New York is just full of really dumb front office people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those people is James Dolan. James Dolan is the owner of the Knicks. James Dolan was leaving the game the other night, and a fan called out to him, and he stopped, and he waved the fan over. And when the fan got over to him, he said, "Will you please do us all a favor and sell the damn team?" Something along those lines.
Right.
That fan, for making that comment, which is total opposite of what you were talking about, is now banned from Madison Square Garden for life.
I think that's silly.
Hey, James Dolan, grow the hell up and realize you've been an awful owner and your fans are pissed and have earned the right to say it. If I'm the fans' next home game for the Knicks, I start a sell the team chant throughout the whole Madison Square Garden. Sell the team. And make sure that ass is there. It's ridiculous. Grow the hell up, dude, you loser.
Yeah, it's silly.
I was a little upset about it.
It's like children throwing temper tantrums.
Or you, when I'm right and you're wrong.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is. But with that, Jess, we have come to the end, and guess what?
What?
No news broke while we were on air again.
Shocking.
Great episode.
Talk about all the things that already did break, though.
We did. Great episode. We will be back next week. Trying to keep bringing it hard to you. Maybe get back to the Sixers next week. Get the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics on Sunday and then Wednesday. So 2 big games there. So we could talk about that Boston Celtics games. We're live on YouTube Fridays 9 to 11 over there on Wildfire Radio. You can search the podcast and subscribe at iTunes. The Madness with Rob Lange. Follow us at Run This Town 13 at Philly_Madness and on Instagram at Philly_Madness. We love you. Jess, have a great week.
You too.
Everybody out there, embrace the madness, and we'll be back next week.
Never thought